Welcome back to the studio. I thought I would share a speed demo this morning of a piece that I recently completed. And my husband and I took this beautiful morning walk at a park near our home, and I captured the sunlight coming through the trees and making these beautiful shadows on the ground, which I absolutely love to paint. So I decided to bring it home and give it a go. You can see that there's actually no foliage on the top of these trees, but I wanted a bunch of foliage on the top of these trees. So you'll see me add that in and work quite a bit from my imagination. I'm working on a piece of mounted UArt. I mount my own paper, and I always do that when I'm going to create a wet underpainting like I'm doing in this particular piece. I love doing colorful underpaintings. They create such a beautiful effect because pastels are layers so well. If you don't cover it all up, then some of that pigment peeks through from underneath, and it really makes for a sparkly effect. And I'm really hoping to create a lot of sparkle in this piece. Starting to lay in all that foliage, and my sky and the tree tops are going to change quite a bit because I'm working from my imagination. I'm figuring out what the shapes are, and shapes in a painting are a very important element. If you get the shapes right, then you've got a lot of the work done for you. I've got an N95 mask on for a few minutes because I had decided to spray the top part of the tree foliage with some workable fixative. And you don't want to breathe that stuff. It's really hard on your lungs and it stinks. I've decided to add in a grassy little knoll on the right-hand side to really help separate the foreground from the midground. Even though I don't see it in the reference photo, I know that it will help create depth in my painting. Starting to add some additional trees as well. I love working from my imagination. And I decided I really wanted this piece to be kind of stylized. I wasn't going for realism. I like working in all different styles. I don't worry about having a particular style. I want to paint what feels right to me at the time. And I trust that my personal style will shine through in whatever, type of painting or techniques I decide to use in any particular piece. You can see I'm using some neutrals, muted light blue in the background trees, and that's going to help really create more of a sense of depth. I want this painting to be to have a lot of space in it, and I want the viewer to be able to walk back in way behind those midground trees and see what's back there. So by creating multiple layers of trees overlapping each other, that will help create a sense of distance. I love working with all this dappled light in the foreground and the shadows. I'm trying to use, even though I have a quite colorful palette, I'm trying to use a lot of the same colors that I use in the trees down in the foreground as well. Really starting to shape my trees now and think about the shape of them and how it's going to help lead the viewer into the painting and create a pleasing shape that won't be distracting or just a bunch of broccoli tops on the upper third of my painting. It's clear looking at the reference photo that you really have to use your knowledge of what objects in nature really look like, because reference photos lie Those tree trunks just look black in the reference photo, and everything else is a little too light. So I'm really using my imagination and remembering what that beautiful walk was like and what it looked like while I was there. Part of the reason I decided to add foliage to the top of the trees is I kind of wanted this piece to almost have a portal effect, so that you're kind of enclosed in the foreground, and then it opens up to a big, wide, deep space in the background. I just thought that would be kind of cool. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this. I really enjoyed making it. If you want to see the entire process with commentary, go check out my Patreon page, which I've put the link below underneath this video. And we have a lot of fun over there. So hope to see you there.